I'm Dylan Hughes, Formula Drift Pro driver, and me and my dad have had a dream for over a decade of going 200 miles an hour on the Bonneville Salt Flats on a motorcycle. Follow along, this is Permatex Flat Out 200. Okay, so we are to the point now where we have the bike, we got the thing that's supercharged, the bike hauls, but just the way that it is, now we need to make it slippery. We need that aero to let us go to that limit that we want, which is over 200. So we're down here in San Diego. This is a place called AirTech. So this place is legendary in making body kits for motorcycles that go on the Bonneville Salt Flats and go for land speed records. So they have essentially a couple different body kits that we can do. So they have like a front fender, like a front fairing, and then they have a rear fairing. It just kind of depends on how gnarly we need to get with it. So that's why we're about to go in there right now and see if we can't go in there and pick these guys' brains, and maybe they can help us point us in the right direction. And then we also got to figure out if we can even get a body kit that fits this bike, because I don't think anybody's ever done this to an H2 yet. So we're about to learn something. Let's check it out.
This is like the B style of fairing there.
Okay.
So that's turbo version, and that's a muscle bike version there with the air intake ducts and stuff on it.
Oh, so naturally aspirated.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and you were talking about that B-style Hayabusa kit. You think that that's going to be our best bet?
Yeah.
Okay.
As far as what I currently have tooled for, and that's, you know, I can make it for you and we can stick it on in the afternoon. That's going to be the best starting point.
Yeah.
And I think I can probably get you in the 220, 230 range. Wow. Yeah.
That's a lot more than 200.
Yeah. Well, that'd be a thing. I mean,
That would be cool.
If you're somebody almost a 200 mile an hour record, you go out there and make a 230 pass. Then it's like, boom.
We'd be showing up freaking swinging. Yeah, it'd be sweet. It'd be sweet for sure.
Yeah. Very simple. We got about 7,000 different molds.
Oh.
How long have you guys been doing this?
38 years.
Wow.
Yeah, a while now.
No doubt. This is just in Photoshop.
Banging off the rev limiter.
Oh, that's all we do. So this is the engine. It's a 3-liter inline 6-cylinder made by Toyota. So it's a 2JZ.
Okay. In that BMW?
In that BMW. So you could go any car, any engine.
Okay.
So that's what's kind of cool about it.
Yeah,
so this one did 30 pounds of boost, 8,600 RPM. It did 950 to the wheels before nitrous. It's pretty terrifying.
Oh,
it's terrifying. It's pretty terrifying. I love it. Drifting, it's like only turning, right? You don't drift straight. You're in a car, you have a cage to protect you. You're on asphalt, somewhat stable surface, which is good. And then slippery salt, it's salt, which is weird. Straight line, I don't know. And it's really fast, like literally double the speed of our initiation in Atlanta. We usually do like 100, 102, 105, something like that in Atlanta on the initiation. We're gonna do 200. I don't know what I got myself into, I really don't. Because it's like one of those deals where you're like, wow, 200, 200. It's like, you know, there's a lot of cars and a lot of vehicles out there, bikes included, that will do 200 these days. And it sort of gets like swept under the rug as something that's just like, it's not that big of a deal. But once you do it on a surface like the salt, like the Bonneville Salt Flats, I think that it escalates the danger level quite a bit. And I'm learning that more as we get farther into this. The more people I talk to, the more sketchy it sounds, like, really. So, I don't know. Now I have to do it. So it certainly appears like we came to the right spot. I mean, who knew something like this even existed? You want to go fast on a motorcycle, like real fast? This is it. There's an entire building dedicated for it. He says that he has over 7,000 molds, individual molds. So you can build whatever you want. Any bike, any track for anything, anywhere, anytime. Pretty unbelievable. That's what I'm stoked on, is we get to come and see places like this. I didn't even know that this was a thing, and look at this. This is their entire life. I mean, we got guys laying molds over here. We got carbon fiber fenders. We got laying glass. I mean, this place is unbelievable. I didn't even know this existed. So we came to the right spot, no doubt. So he's taken this mold here, and this is a prefabricated piece that they have already made. Essentially, he just lays it on his garbage can here, and then he lays this fiberglass in here, and then he takes that resin, which I'm sure is some special resin that they've developed over years, and he kind of just like places this in there, does a bunch of different layers, they let it cure, they pull it out, and now you have a perfect piece that is ready to go on a bike. After a little bit of trimming and fixing and this and that, or fitting, I should say, but that's pretty much it.
You're right, yeah. Yeah, been there, done. Now I'm working on trying to get the 4 club. So
400 mile an hour club.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. I'm just looking at this 215 right here with your name above it. I'm like, that's us right there. Can't wait. Can't wait. Thank you again for your time. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks for coming out, man. I look forward to the project. It'll be
Absolutely.
fun.
Catch you soon. Thank you.
See you guys later.
Thanks,
All right,
Ken.
take it easy.
Dude, body kit ordered. Man, that feels good. So sick. I can't believe this is right here. We just drove here from the shop. It was like, what, an hour, 45 minutes? Like, I didn't even know this existed. This is crazy.
Insane.
We're going fast on this bike, which we are going real fast on this bike. I don't want anything falling off of it, so I figure I'm going to run down here to O'Reilly Auto Parts. We're going to pick up some thread locker, and the only stuff that I trust is the Permatex products. Okay, so probably just going to go with the usual. I'm going to go right ahead and fire up the blue, fire up the red for the stuff we really don't want coming out, and then the orange is the nice happy medium. I really am all about the orange lately. That's good stuff. So nothing falling off the bike at 200 miles an hour, please. This is going to help us. Nice. Yeah, there you are.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much. There it is. Awesome. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. Yeah. This project is so insane, and we are learning a ton along the way. A little bit out of our wheelhouse, but luckily we've had some really cool people helping us out along the way. You know, and I've heard or I've seen a couple of people mention online that 200 miles an hour doesn't really seem like that crazy, but you have to keep in mind what we're doing this on. First off, it's a motorcycle. Second off, it's on a super low traction surface, which is salt. Third, it's at 4,000 feet. And fourth, it's actually a flying mile. So it's not just accelerate up to 200 miles an hour, you hit it and you slow down. This is an average speed over 1 mile. So it's gonna be 200 miles an hour on the throttle stop, on salt, which is a slippery surface, and we expect to get wheel speed at north of 180 miles an hour, and we're going to be holding it for about 14 to 17 seconds wide open. So this is going to be a little bit crazy. So we went down there, told him about our project. He seemed to be pretty into it, which was cool. He said that he was going to make the body kit for us and that we would come back in a couple weeks and come and pick the body kit up. And he said, we'll just bring the bike with you when you come back. And we were like, okay, sure. Maybe we'll like hold it up there, mock it up. We'll see what happens. So we show up and he is like full blown, like tools out, ready to help us strip this bike down and really get this kit fitted. And that was what was so cool with us, is that he's truly into the project, which was a huge refresher. And it was just really nice to be able to get that help moving forward, because this isn't what we do. So he could tell that we were kind of green, and I think that he was kind of like the story of the whole thing, was willing to help out in that sense. So incredibly thankful for Kent moving forward over there at AirTech.
Here we cut for the Hayabusas as well. So it comes up to the frame, so you start cutting some of that to sneak it up here to the bottom of the frame. The fairing shouldn't dictate where, because that fairing goes together with this thing. So as it comes up, the radiator obviously is taller than a Hayabusa, so we'll start cutting away at some of that and start bringing it up a little bit. How far the fairing goes forward and back positions how much room, because inside the fairing is small and it radiuses out. So the farther forward we get the fairing, then we got more room for handlebars and width and stuff in there. The air intake would limit that, frame width would limit that, so I think we're okay if we can get your hands right about in here. What we want to try to do when we drop this thing down is we want to try to get this top chain as horizontal as possible. Realistically, we want the top chain horizontal and a 7-degree angle on the rear swing arm. That gives you optimum drive out of a corner.
Okay.
So if you're going to do a wet rain setup for like road racing, that way you have control of mid-corner, and then as it comes out, instead of stepping out like drifting out, it would hook up.
Just dig right out.
Well, you wouldn't want to squat.
Okay.
And that's why we want to keep the chain horizontal on it, because when the chain angle and it pulls, you can obviously affect the suspension, and you consider Bonneville a wet course. It's slippery as heck, and sometimes it is wet out there. So we want to try to set it up fairly soft and be able to hook up.
So then we have to get adjustable links for the bottom.
These things right here, these dog bones, that's what controls the length of how far this moves out. And I'm positive Brock has them, or Ricky has them, or somebody. Maybe Schnitz has adjustable dog bones put in there to be able to drop this thing down to where the chain's going to be horizontal. So aerodynamically, it doesn't make a difference an inch or so height-wise, but it makes all the difference here. So you see guys out there dragging things on the ground and stuff. It's like, yeah, you don't know what the fuck's going on.
All right, look at that.
Yeah.
I don't know if your side's at all close, but that is like, see that right there?
Let me see. You got it right in there. There we go.
This one right here. If this bike doesn't say slippery, I don't know what does.
No idea it was this easy. Just put some packing tape over it.
Call it a day and ready to go 200.
I'm not gonna show anybody my secret. Sorry.
Yeah. It's like invisible at 200. Nobody's gonna see that.
Coming back, we're probably okay because the nose is back behind the plane of the front wheel, and that's legal. So the nose can't come out any farther than the plane of the front rim.
Oh, okay.
So cut that, be able to swing the rear up, which will give us a little bit of rocker to help evacuate the air out from underneath it.
Oh, you want the bottom panel to be up a little bit?
Slight angle.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Wow, I mean I don't know about this one, we might be able to, I'm just trying to figure out how to mount this thing, and like that is like dead on the other side.
Is it?
So
Yeah.
it's actually really close, yeah. So at this point in time, I feel slightly ahead on this project, which is a massive refresher. So we're definitely not done by any means. I have a bunch more fiberglass trimming to do just to get the thing so it keys together really nice. I gotta build some brackets, so I gotta turn down some aluminum spacers, figure out how I'm gonna bolt this whole fiberglass body kit onto this motorcycle that it's not gonna fly off when we go 200 miles an hour. So after we get that body kit fit up, we gotta get this thing with some special tires on it. We're gonna lower it a little bit. We gotta put a special windscreen on it. A couple different things we gotta do. So there's definitely gonna be a build aspect to it, but feeling pretty good right now with Kent's help. We got the bike torn apart, as you can see right here behind me. That whole clamshell is going to fit over the front. We got a big piece on the back, a piece underneath. It's actually pretty gnarly what he's got going into it. But after that, we're going to tune the engine, and then it's go fast time. We're going to go on that slippery surface and go 200 on a bike that looks just like that.